So the hero of Foxwood lives to fight another day. But that, unfortunately, I think that fort might now be occupied by the barbarians, which is endlessly frustrating. In the meantime, I didn't make note of this, but ooh, neighbour. In the meantime, I didn't make note of this, but our borders have expanded, giving us some pretty helpful resources there. So for happiness, there's some wine, silks, and reagents, which are I think they just give you extra gold, but I'm not sure. We'll see as it comes closer to it. But yeah, and over here, you get a castle, which I think I can occupy. I don't think that's a dungeon. I think I just moved that in, which I might actually just send my warrior to do now. But I have had many games end from this sort of mistake. So we shall see. Hopefully it's not going too far, so it should be fine. Okay. Yep. Great. Early, as any Civ player will tell you, the early round of a lot of these games is just hitting next turn. But it's going to get increasingly complicated. An exhausted traveller tells you about a secluded warrior order up in the mountains. The story goes that the monastery's inhabitants have been affected by the demonic mistress of torture, Nagamother. And we shall see. Ooh, intriguing. A curse? What's that all about? Stay tuned to find out. Moving him in there. Yes. Oh, that's not great. The Balseraphs are insane jester people. This guy, Perpentak, is an evil one, so we are at a diplomatic disadvantage right off the bat, but as I said in my video, I don't know if you watched it, but those alignments can change as a result of religions that you adopt, etc. So, I mean, either I'll swing towards neutral, and he won't hate me as much, or he'll swing towards neutral, and he won't hate me as much, or we'll see what happens. The Balseraphs normally go a specific way, which is they pick up the religion of chaos and bad, so I'm not hopeful. But we've got a mountain range in between us, hopefully it should be fine. Great, okay. So I can occupy that, which is very handy. Odio's prison, yeah. So that's another explorable bit, but it also serves as a body mana node, which would be very handy to me. But it is right on Balseraph's borders, so we shall see what comes of that. It would be nice to have more body mana. I already have one, so I don't need it per se. Just helps me heal faster. But I mean, we shall see. Damn it! God damn it! God. Yay! There we go. They did well there. What do I want? Build a Geomancer is their version of Worker. I can't remember how it's different, but apart from being magic-y, but we shall see. I'm going to claim that fort, expanding cultural control and putting some border pressure tension up on there, which hopefully doesn't bite me in the arse. Okay, moving on. Yeah, there we go. The thing I mentioned about Nagamother. He's back. A messenger of the so-called Order of Nagamother reports on a heroic battle of the warrior monks against the mistress of torture. The demon Nagamother was captured. Though it was not possible to kill her, her power was broken. By a trick, her entity was transferred into the bodies of the monks in pieces. Never must this entity find back together again. Well, proofread. The messenger asks to welcome all keepers of Nagamother in peace and prevent them from fighting each other. The power and spirit of the demon is so tempting that it's not easy to do by themselves. So, what essentially, we'll see what happens with that unit, but basically there's two routes you can go down, where you give in to the demon within, or you resist it. But either way, it's a very powerful unit. Somewhat overpowered. But it's one of the extra modules that comes with the game. Which you don't have to put on, but I like to put on a lot of them, just because I am kind of used to how this game plays normally now. This is the other thing, Amurites. So this is a fort with a fort commander, but Amurites don't get the regular fort commander, they get what's called a tower mage, and what a tower mage can do is basically any magic that you have access to. And what is cool about tower mage at this point is I can, well, next turn I can give him a floating eye to scout around and give me vision over here. He also at some point can learn how to throw fireballs, and he's more handy in a lot of ways than just a regular fort commander. But also weaker. He also can't move. That's the thing about fort commanders, is they're stuck in the fort. But that is good for me generally, because I tend to leave myself underdefended. Nagamothers are good to move around and explore stuff, because they get better results from dungeons and the like. So I might move him over there, because there's plenty of dungeon space to explore. End turn. Yes. Scouts have, I don't know if this is part of base Civ 4, I can't remember anymore, but scouts have extra damage against beasts, so that's why that worked. And you can eventually upgrade them so that they can recruit beasts that you fight, and then you can do numerous things with them too. More dungeons over here, and over here, that's a lot. Ooh. Even in the distant past, before the gods had revealed their divine presence to us, we still felt an unidentifiable longing, a yearning for some greater purpose, some guideline for our existence. Even then, a part of us must have known. Job and Sarah, scholar. So all of the technologies in this game have their own handwritten lore bits and pieces, which really adds to the feel of this new world. In a way that I think games like this can often be quite light on lore, because it doesn't factor in a cohesive way. But I think when it's little bits like this, and when you go into the Civilopedia and look up all the stuff, I really like that. We're very revealing information. But mysticism gives us God King, the Civic, which is very handy, particularly since I only have one city. Gives us access to these different religions, which I'll go into as and when. Philosophy, which helps with our great person production and with further theological matters. But importantly for us, knowledge of ether, which is the magic route. And allows us to build Elder Council, which is science building, Pagan Temple, which is a culture modifier, dowsing, which I have never actually used, but essentially it just reveals all of the resources on the map, and the Altar of the Luonatar, which is one of the win conditions, which I might even end up going for. Essentially it's about great person production and doubling down on religion, but all building blocks. I could go for Knowledge of Ether right now. That would be handy, given how much that plays into the game plan for Amurites, but I think I'll probably go crafting, just to build up my city a bit more. And have him garrison there, so I feel a bit less terrified. And keep exploring over here with him. There's a dungeon over here I can see. Scions of Patria. We are surrounded by bad guys, which isn't great, and the Scions of Patria are naturally warlike because they require gorgeous music. But the Scions of Patria, they require enemy combatants to fill their ranks. So if the AI uses them well, which they probably won't, you should be at war quite frequently. You can get by with barbarians and stuff, but you really get a massive boom from going to war, which no one else gets, so it's in your best interest. But we'll see how that develops. Keep exploring out this way. Tomb of Seychelles. This is a good one for us. I think I will try and get a city over there potentially, but there's a lot of empty space in the middle. Tomb of Seychelles is it gives you extra life mana, but it gives you 2, and life mana is handy because all of that life mana goes to the health of your cities. So that's a short-term goal when we can build settlers. Just skipping through here. Okay, so I'm going to, hopefully at not much risk because of the fort commander here, next turn I will be exploring that dungeon. The lair, as they're called. Keep going out. Maybe I'll go this way. Handy. It'd be good to map this area out if I'm going to be settling, which I hopefully will. And I also do want to be up here at some point for that mana node. But keep going. Ooh! That's not great. Why are we rebelling? don't know. Annoying, but whatever. Okay, so so the mages over time will gain levels and XP. So fire will give me a fireball. Spell extension just lets my summons last longer. Combat, same as anything else, makes me stronger. Body, I can't remember, but I think it gives a buff, which isn't handy if you're not part of a moving force. And Meta Magic gives you a scouting eye, which is what I'm going to do. So you summon this, and it gives you, similar to other Civ games, like an air recon. And he can go over there. It only persists for 1 round, but I can do it every turn. And I can see they're getting quite big. They've got that. Yeah, I may have not been as wise as possible making that worker first, but I mean, we'll see.